So, just because, did we spill something? Oh my goodness. Okay, so those of us who are not cleaning up after Zoe's water bottle, which should be banned, but it's still the water bottle. It's the karma of the water bottle. And it's even a different water bottle. It's not the one that I can't even deal with it. It's Zoe. Yeah, it's just okay. So, L'Hopital's rule. Remember that what we have is some limit. We've got two functions, and that is equal to either 0 over 0 or plus or minus infinity over plus or minus infinity. And if we have that situation, then we can apply L'Hopital's rule, which means that this is equal to, again, the limit as x goes to a of the derivative of the numerator over the derivative of the denominator. And remember that we are only going to use the strong version of L'Hopital's rule. So we are only using that version where we take this as a limit again. Okay, so that if we need to apply it multiple times, we can do that. Right. So the thing you have to remember, though, is that if you don't have something divided by something else and it's not equal to 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity, then you're going to need to manipulate. So there are some other indeterminate forms. And we talked about 0 to the 0, 1 to the infinity. And we've done some examples with those, but the last one that we haven't talked about how to deal with is infinity minus infinity. Okay, and maybe you all figured out how to do the journal question, which would be great, but I thought that maybe we should do it together. Okay, so let's do number 19. This is section 9.2. I don't know what page it is. It's probably 454 or 455. And you will need a book because you're gonna do a problem in groups. And remember that wherever your book is, you have to give it back to me at the end, so find it. I appreciate that you find them and bring them back, but I believe I have 20 books and there were only 11 of you, so there are still books missing. Oh, okay. Okay. So you have come to a limit. What is the first thing you do? Substitute in. Okay, so if we substitute in, this is going to, well, first of all, can you think in terms like this? Like, can you think in terms of cosecant and cotangent? I can't. So I'm going to rewrite these. So what's cosecant? 1 over sine. What's cotangent? Which is going to be what? It is 1 over tan, but then that makes it, no, it should be cosine over sine. Okay, plus cosine x. I just find it easier. I'm going to do that in my head anyway, so I might as well write it down and make sure I don't screw it up. Okay. So if we substitute in, what's the sine of 0 and what's 1 over 0? It's infinity. What's the cosine of 0? 1. What's the sine of 0? What's 1 over 0? What's the cosine of 0? 1. So, do I have an indeterminate form here? Yeah. What is my indeterminate form? Yeah, infinity minus infinity. Now, things can go to infinity in very different ways. So you can't just say, oh, well, it'll be 0, because not everything goes to infinity at the same rate. Okay? So we have an indeterminate form. It is not 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. So we're going to have to manipulate this somehow to turn it into the indeterminate form that we can apply L'Hopital's rule to. Okay? So what am I supposed to do in a situation like this? Find a common denominator, because then I can have something over something, which gives me a better shot of getting 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. Okay, so I've got this here, and I'm just gonna copy that and paste it. Okay. And then, as Sarah said, this kind of almost has a common denominator, or at least a lot of it does. So what is that common denominator? Sine x. So this is going to give me 1 minus cosine x plus what? Okay, cosine x, sine x. And then after I've done some manipulation, which is what we just did, what do I do again? Plug back in. Okay, so that's going to give me 1 minus, what's the cosine of 0? Because sine of x is 0, and then what do I get in the denominator? 0. So this is going to give me what? 0 over 0, which is not an acceptable answer, but a good thing, because what can I apply now? L'Hopital's rule. Okay. So L'Hopital's rule means that I still have a limit here, and I take the derivative of the numerator divided by the derivative of the denominator. So let's take the denominator first because it's easier. So what's the derivative of sine x? And now we'll work on the numerator. So what's the derivative of 1? AP exam's coming, guys. What's the derivative of cosine x? And now I got to deal with what? Product rule. So this is going to give me cosine x times cosine x plus sine x times so if I clean this up a little bit, I have sine x plus cosine squared x minus sine squared x all over cosine x. And then what do? Plug in. So again, the sine of 0 is, the cosine squared of 0 is, the sine of 0 squared is, and the cosine of 0 is, so this gives me 1. Okay? And you're done. That's the nice thing about this, is I don't have to make it e to the whatever or take natural logs or do any of that manipulation. Okay? Are there any other journal questions that we did not do that you would like to go through and do? I handed out on Friday? Did I hand out the practice worksheets, or did I hand that out earlier? Okay. They're probably back on my desk. I'll get them in a minute. So those are due Monday. Not Monday. Today's Monday. Those are due Wednesday when you take the quiz. Tomorrow you're going to finish the review 1 sheet that I gave you back on Monday, the Monday after break. And as you trickled back in, I gave them to you. So please bring that to class. I will leave somewhere, somehow, answers to the part 2 and the rest of the multiple choice. And then the quiz is Wednesday, and Thursday we will start reviewing. We have I mean, Corpus World. 28 days, 22 hours, and 49 minutes. No, because it's counting down. So we'll be reviewing, and it'll mostly be, I'm going to give you one of those packets like I gave you that Monday, and you're going to do it. You'll probably do 5 multiple choice and one of the part 2s, and we'll go over it in class, and we will just keep doing that for as long as we can. Okay? We'll probably have a couple pop quizzes on derivatives and integrals to make sure that you know your math facts, which is basically what that is, they are your new math facts. Okay? So what I want you to do right now, though, aside from a healthy little dose of panic, which I'm all for, especially now when we can still do something with the healthy dose of panic, okay? Exactly. It's a good time to panic. But I want you to do one more thing. I want you to do, it's page 455, number 53. But I don't want you to do it by yourself. I want you to find a partner. And I'm not going to make partners. I'm going to trust that you can find a partner. Okay? If you can't find a partner, let me know. There can be one group of 3 because there are 11 of you. Okay? So find a partner.